Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.
Music, man. It's the only thing there is. Gotta keep playing. What's up, gentlemen?
Hi.
Seems like we were just here. But we weren't 2 days ago. What is it, Tuesday today? I'm all messed up today from the holiday. I'm thinking today's Monday. I'm at work today, and I'm like, oh, it is Tuesday. We got a show tonight.
Nice feature about a short week, I find, is that you have to do that same 5 days worth of work in 4.
Yes, yeah. So, got to get her done. Well, here we are. It is Tuesday. The Guitarsenal is 9:10 p.m. Eastern Persuasion on May 27th, 2025. Timestamped, ready to go. We've got, we've got Jimmy, the biter. We've got John, the Deshane, and then Randy, the Red Bull Ripper down there. What is up, guys? What's happening? What's new?
Red Bull Ripper, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, somebody said that in the chat one day, and it kind of stuck. I kind of liked it. So, I think it may have been Cucumber. I can't remember.
More guitar stuff.
What?
Brett and Nex got a couple more builds that'll be coming up here in a couple weeks.
Nice. Jimmy is always full of different gear projects. Speaking of projects, I know Randy was working on some backup gear to his Synergy rig, and that got me thinking, when you played live, John, did you have a backup rig? Did you have backup gear?
My backup rig was 4 match set of tubes.
That was it. Yeah.
That was in the days before modelers and all that stuff.
Right. Well, what if your, what if your transformer went down or something? Did you have any kind of nothing? No plan.
No, we didn't do a whole lot of, 4 sets a night cover tune things. We were an original act, so it's usually,
Yeah.
Just ran the risk.
Gotcha. Well, before we get too far into the conversation, let's say thank you to our channel members. We do have channel membership available on the channel. There's a join button over there underneath the video on your web screen. And if you'd like to join, just click that. We do appreciate each and every one of our channel members, old and new, that have been supporting the channel, giving us the resources to keep the lights on, strings and things and picks and whatever. And we do appreciate each and every one of you. And a reminder, we have a massive giveaway that's going to be coming up in August. We're going to be giving away some stuff donated by Mr. Stephen Franklin. And giving away some, a guitar strap, some Van Halen picture books. We've got, what else do we have that was over there?
GL2T.
GL2T is not going anywhere. It'll stay here. So those items will be available for any of our subscribers. But then the grand prize will be the Boss, which I'm looking at over here, is why I keep doing like this over here. The GT 1000 floor unit effects processor. And that will be available for one of our channel members to win. So if you'd like to be
good things about that thing, so
qualified for that, make sure you are a channel member. I think we're going to do something a little bit different with that. So as the longer you've been a channel member, the more entries that you get. So we will see what happens. So welcome in, everybody. And thank you once again to our channel members. And let's get over to the chat, shall we? See who's here. See what is going on. Is it, let's see. Yep, there it is. Let me get it open. Let's see who pops out. There he is. Earl Coli is here. What are we drinking? Just some diet soda for me. Plumber has a Roto-Rooter. That's the kind of backup gear we're talking about.
God damn it, I forgot to call a plumber today.
We got channel member Chuck C is here saying, what's up?
Chuck.
Good to see you, Chuck. Let's see. Channel member Greasy, a monkey, guitars.
If you were to walk into a garage and saw a guy and said, there's nothing more greasy than him, we got him.
Greasy Monkey is so greasy that if you walk by him, you would go ahead and slip on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just dripping with grease. We've got Sova is here. CLS, get out, get live, or get old. I have reverse as my only backup gear. Hey, at least you got some kind of backup. Let's see. We got Wayne McConnell is here as well, saying sup to the dudes. Good to see you, Wayne. Let's see. Scrolling on down. Look at here. We got Kurt 5150. Back up. Got the beep sign for Kurt. What is going on, sir? Hope you are well. Did we say hey to Stu Petty? We're going to say it right now. Welcome in, Stu. Always good to see you.
Hey, Stu, not Steve.
Arkansas is here saying back it up.
So
What is
guys
up?
on our show the other night?
Yeah, that was
Shenanigans afoot.
a wild night. Yeah.
I think I hung in till about 4 a.m. and fucking power went out here.
Now, you know that we're all presenting characters on screen. It's just an act. You know, it's just entertainment. So there you go.
What are you talking about, man?
Whatever. Anything that I may have done or said, it was just an act. You know,
Well,
playing
a good thing Al's not here because he would present multi-angle.
Yeah, he would
capture
all the clips and everything. Yeah. Let's see. We said hey to Sova. We said hey to Greasy. And let's see. Scrolling. We got Raider Rich 760 SoCal is here. Good to see you. What's a cracking, everybody? He says. We got channel member, crew member, and panel member tonight. Jimmy Biter saying what's up. Always glad to have you here, Jimmy. Let's see. Scrolling on down. Who else do we have? We have Rene Fernandez is here. Great to see you again. Always my respects to all of you and you as well. We appreciate you being here. Let's see. Channel member Zach Thong is hanging out.
Brother Zach.
Better tuck that thong back in there. Good to see you, Zach. Let's see. We've got channel member Rob Noxious is here. Crashes through the wall like Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah. I remember those commercials.
At our age, the guy crashes through the wall. He says, "Oh yeah, you all know who's going to fix that shit."
Right. When I was a kid, I had, I may have talked about it on here before. Hang on. I got to pick something up off the floor. Yeah. We had the Intellivision, right? Mm-hmm. And there was this thing when I was a kid, if you collected so many little square things off the back of the Kool-Aid pack, you could get a video game for your Intellivision. And we got that thing, and you know, back then the graphics were horrible, but we thought it was fantastic. And that was one of the things that you could do was crash the dude through a wall. You know, just reminded me of that. All right, carrying on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Started off strong.
That was the Slim Jim guy too, right? Snap it to Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
Snap it to Slim Jim. Macho Man.
Let's see.
Savage.
Right? Looky here. We got the Boner Jams, the man of the year, giving us a little cha-ching. Saw Randy Price returning male performance pills at Sunoco on Sunday. Good to see everyone. Hugs and kisses. Good to see you, Boner. Always a pleasure to have you here. Let's see, scrolling on down. Who else? We've got channel member Jeff K is here. My CH membership came over on the Mayflower. So is that 1,620 chances? Maybe.
It might be.
Let's see. Who else? I think we're caught up with the chat. So welcome in, everyone. Kurt says we had an Intellivision, Pong, and Astro Smash. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think I was telling the story about how I was surprised that I woke up one morning and my mother was playing Armada, which was a version of Space Invaders. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. So what are we doing tonight, boys? Oh, yeah, we're talking about backup gear. And we're just going to make some noise and do all that kind of stuff. Little piece of the intro song. So
Straight
anyway,
to the point, Boner.
What's Boner talking about? Oh, she's catching up on some things. I have spoken with her, and she is interested in coming back on once she gets some things released and out into the wild. So she's got lots of stuff to talk about. Hey, we've got channel member Bo, Guitar Man 45 is here. Good to see you, Bo. And let's see. Did I miss anybody? No, we got everybody. So yeah, we started off when we were talking about backup gear. So John said, you said that just 4 set of match tubes was your only backup for any, show that you
I
went
had
to?
a second guitar with me, but as far
Right,
as
right.
the main power unit, no.
So you had more confidence in your amp not giving you any trouble than you did a guitar not breaking a string.
90% is going to be a tube issue, right? So I did have a couple 12 AX7s and a full set, but in the worst case scenario, you pull the inner ones, right? And then you just run in at 50 watts, and then if it's a power transformer, then I'm not meant to be playing that.
Right. Yeah, it's just a done night. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Sova's greeting. Got some hankering for some Natalie. Right on. I'll touch base with her. See when she's ready. We'll have her on. We'll have her on. So what I used to do when I played out several years ago, I did run the wet, dry, wet rig, which is susceptible to, chords or some kind of issue. I thankfully only had one time that I had an issue. And the only thing that it turned out to be was that in the back, I had reversed 2 wires. One should have been in that hole and the other should have been in that hole. Once I did that, she was good to go. Oops, wrong hole. So, but
I'm here.
I did carry around a little, and I had practiced with it too. It was a Line 6 Spider 3 75 watt little combo amp. And it had a setting on there that I had made where it was kind of like a mix between, an early Van Halen kind of tone, and then it had a chorus that I could add into it for the later kind of tones. Right. And it mimicked, my sound pretty good. And sucker was loud. You crank that thing up or put a mic on it, it actually sounded pretty decent in a mix. So that was always my backup to that. So now, playing that back there, if I've got a problem with it, typically I can get it fixed up. But you do see I've got 3 different heads back there.
2 of which are for sale.
Several of them will be for sale soon. So my backup capabilities will be dwindling. But any of that rack gear back there, if it goes out, that's it. I got to find something else really quick. I do have the EVH. I've got the EVH pedal, and I would have to get an H90 probably. I've got the micro pitch. And it's okay, but I've got some stuff back there that I could use for backup. I also got was a little Fender 50 watt Mustang, I think it is, something like that, and that thing's got a pretty good sound. So got that as a backup too as well. But what kind of got me on this subject tonight was Jimmy, you had some trouble with your Synergy, and did you have any kind of backup at that time?
Just pan up your room, Jim, for a sec.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could hook up a number of heads and just, captured a, mic'd a live cab or...
Well, it seems like that's what you started with. You came on, you had a head going, and...
Yeah, before I had this desk, I mean, I was running... I was doing direct out, and then I was micing a cab and just kind of putting that into the mix too.
Mm-hmm.
And
I used to love it when you get the feedback, Jim, with the cab.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I missed that part, but just turn up the gain and...
You could still technically turn a cab on if you wanted to.
Yeah,
right?
I could run, because I got, I still have one available slot here in the Roadcaster that I could pump something into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which could be a cab.
You get latency on that though.
Maybe.
Ask me how I know.
Well, I was doing it before.
Well, you get phase issues, right? There's a bit of digital because you're going out of your Synergy.
I mean, I could go back to the archives and go, so it's been like a year, so it would have been like, I don't know, maybe 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah.
Go back to that and just go through some of the live streams. And
were you running both digital and analog together?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. It all depends on how you get it set up. Sometimes, like
how she's going in.
A lot of people ask, well, why don't you have phase issues and this and that? I'm like, I don't know. plug it in and it works, you know? So somebody made a comment the other day. They're like, with that Palmer has a speaker simulation in it, and you're then running it through cabinets. Isn't that kind of redundant? Wouldn't it be better to take a line out? I'm like, dude, I've been doing it for 15 years. Why the heck would I change it? You know, the way that it sounds fantastic. So why, you know, sometimes the right way is not always the best way. Sometimes the wrong way works and it sounds better to me, you know, so why not go with it?
One way to skin that cat.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. So now to the man of the hour, Randy. Your synergy fried last Sunday.
Yeah, it's dead.
For the second or third time.
Well, it started a week ago. It fried. It popped the mains fuse after.
Your
the show.
level's kind of low there, buddy. Let me crank you up here. Hang
I
on.
haven't touched anything.
Well, you check your Google
Let me
volume or
check my
something.
Windows volume real quick.
Yep.
Check your Google Hyman.
Yeah, Jimmy and myself are great now, and now you're. Oh, I wouldn't say great.
Oh,
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, see, everything's changed. Randy needs to get him some glasses too so he can see.
Let me borrow yours.
There you
Right.
go. Now you're here.
Hey! Damn it, Jim. Now we're going to have to redo the whole thing. Because my Windows... That's why you had to turn your volume up while we were screwing with this shit earlier. My Windows volume was like super low. Anyway.
Anyhow.
Yeah, so not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, we did the show. Everything was good, but I kind of started noticing about midway through that something didn't quite sound right with my rig. And we got done with the show. We were hanging out afterwards, all that stuff, like normal. And we got talking about some song or something, and I turned it back on. And when I switched channels, it just off. So Jimmy and I spent the next 45 minutes troubleshooting and found the mains fuse blown. And they were nice enough to include a spare. So I swapped it out, turned it on, everything worked, you know, whatever. I swapped the V1 tube out in the Syn 2 because, well, maybe that tube was crappy or something, you know.
Right.
Anyway, we got it working. I was able to do the show Thursday night. And it died Thursday night, like 30 minutes after the show. We were sitting here talking, and I just had it sitting here, you know, at idle.
Yeah.
And it popped in. I was like, well, at least I ordered a pack of fuses because they're little 5x20 millimeter, 315 milliamp glass fuses.
Mm-hmm.
And so I swapped it out Sunday before the show, and it blew as soon as I turned the amp on, which I'd already sent Synergy an email, and I've got a return label and all that crap. I've got to ship it back to them so they can repair it. They pretty much think that the power transformer shorted out in it.
Yeah.
And the way that dude spoke, it's kind of like they've seen that.
Right. Kind of familiar with it. So as far as your backup, you had a little Yamaha amp that wasn't charged up the other day. So you sat there throughout the whole show twiddling your thumbs.
Yep.
And so you now have something else that's backing things up.
Yep.
Or
I now have
I'm going to take a guess.
Okay.
A lot of talk recently about this Tonex pedal. So thinking maybe a Tonex pedal.
I looked at the Tonex, but it is not the Tonex.
Okay. Any other guesses?
Oh, I'm going to guess it was
John knows, I think.
plug-in.
It's not a
Helix
plug-in.
native.
Did you go with the Alta pedal?
That'd been fucking awesome.
Right. So what did you do? What did you end up getting?
So
I'm curious.
now we're running a full pedal board rig.
Okay. All right.
So ended up, I got an email, I guess Friday, that UA was running a Memorial Day sale on all their stuff. So I went down the YouTube rabbit hole of the UA amp pedals, the Lion, the Anti 1992, the Knuckles, etc., etc.
That's what I meant to say a minute ago was the anti-pedal. I said alta pedal, right? I meant anti-pedal.
So I did get a UA pedal, but it is not the Anti.
Okay. And it's not the Lion either.
It's the Knuckles.
Knuckles. Okay. What's that based on?
The Rev F rectifier, dual rectifier,
All
which
right.
is like the holy grail. If you ask anybody that loves rectifiers, the Rev F is the holy grail. It's the one that's basically was the one that ripped off the Soldano circuit in the orange mode.
Say hey real quick to channel member Andy Carson. Look at this
Yo,
distinguished
Andy.
panel of handsome guitar slinging mofos.
Andy, you get that Roadcaster yet?
Welcome in, man.
That orange mode, is that the first channel or is that the green mode?
Green is the first channel, orange is the second, and third is like the just stupid amount gobs of gain channel.
So I'm anxious and I'm glad that you got that pedal because I had the Lion pedal before, and to me it felt really good. The synergy felt a little bit better, and it may just be the way that I had it hooked up. So I'm really curious.
Pedal based on the
A Marshall, yeah, modded Marshall.
Hot rodded plexi, Lion 68.
So I am very, very curious to see what your thoughts, what your impressions are, how it feels, how it sounds. So we can turn this into a universal audio pedal show if you want to.
James Santiago on here.
Right?
Jimmy, where's he at? Jimmy Santiago. So I've only had it. I mean, I got home at 7:00 and hooked this thing up. So basically, the way I hooked it up, and I've got a bad cable.
That's part of your sound, though, right? The bad cable.
Yeah.
Like Edward's bad pickup.
Yeah. But I have anyway. So basically, what I did is I took the input from the Synergy, which would be the tuner, the wah, and the SD1, and the noise gates in there still too.
Mm-hmm.
Which the pedal's got a built-in noise gate, but I don't really need to screw with that when I've got one.
Yep.
I've got a noise gate that costs more than the pedal. But so I just ran it into the input of the Knuckles pedal, took my effects send out of the back of the Synergy to the output of the Knuckles pedal, and then the effects returns are going into the Roadcaster. So there's still a stereo split.
So you're still using the Synergy as a splitter.
No. I unhooked those cables from.
Oh, gotcha. I'm like,
Synergy.
what are you doing?
Yeah, no. The Synergy wouldn't do anything. It doesn't turn on.
Well, okay. Well, that's why I was confused.
Yeah, the Synergy doesn't turn on. I'm just saying the way I hooked it up, because this pedal is stereo out.
Right.
But to not have to sit here and unplug 10 tons of shit, because I have two pedals in the loop that are mono in, I just ran it mono to the pedal board and just took the two effects returns and just put them in my channels on the Roadcaster for the stereo split.
Okay. And is it actually getting you stereo or is it just splitting the mono?
It's getting stereo, I think. You tell me.
Yep, bouncing back and forth.
There you go.
So the SDE pedal, did you put that into the to the panning mode, or it's like I think Leon Todd had a video of how you put it into a different mode.
Yeah,
and it ping pongs.
Yeah, you have a time split, and then you can either do dotted eighth or I can't remember the other set. It's dotted eighth or quarter note, I think. Is how it's split, and mine's on dotted eighth with like a, you can't really tell how many milliseconds the split is, but it's a fairly short split.
Right.
So, but that's last in line in the chain before it goes into the Roadcasters, the SDE3.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's a good tune.
Let's see. Stu Petty uses the Lion, says it's a great pedal.
Cool.
We've got, let's see, channel member Rob, Blackmore official, has kicked the door down and made his way in. Good to see you, Rob.
Yo, Robbie.
Saying good evening to the gents. Always good to see you, Rob. Let's see, Stu Petty says, I AB'd it with the blue channel of my 5153 EL34 and found not much difference. So the Lion is for sale. Andy says, speaking of bad pickup, y'all see where Pariah is doing the exact copy of Ed's broken pickup? Yeah, I saw that demo that sounded like absolute dog shit. So I don't know who recorded that, but I'm like, why are you even using this for an advertisement? Sorry, just me. But unless it was just somebody, I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Well, I've been in the loop on that whole thing for about a year now. It's been part of the thing that John Conklin and Justin Konovich have been researching, and how to basically take a JB with a rough cast magnet in it and put a certain picofarad capacitor in between it and the pot to replicate the broken pickup.
To mimic it, yeah.
And basically, that's kind of what they did, is they hooked up a JB, an 80s JB, and there's a certain picofarad capacitor that I cannot remember the value on off the top of my head, in between the pickup and the pot. And they pretty much took readings from that and wound this new Pariah 86 from that.
Right. I don't know who it was that was playing the demo, but it sounded like it was a Metal Zone pedal through an AM radio speaker. So I don't know if I got a bad video of something, but yeah, it sounded absolutely horrible.
Yeah, they're working on a official demo of that pickup, going through through the right rig and all that stuff,
right,
to do it.
Yeah, it was almost like it was rushed. It was like somebody was so anxious to get something out that they just recorded whatever they had.
Yeah, the thing,
here's some dog shit.
The thing about that is John and I spent probably a good 6 to 8 months doing research and testing things, and because we're EVH losers like that. And bouncing ideas off each other. I talked to Willie a lot about it, since he's the pickup maker, for me. And, what do you think about this? And how would this work? And da-da-da-da-da. And, and him and I think he started, Justin, who builds a lot of great 5150 replica guitars, has been chasing it as well. And I think our information just kind of crossed paths, and he took it to Sean at Pariah, and that's what they've kind of come up with.
Gotcha. Well, just my opinion, they need to get a better demo of it.
There's a better demo coming of it. In a the right guitar through the right rig.
Yeah. Renee says, "What about a TS9 tube screamer? It's one of my holy grails. I've never used a TS9.
I'll take an SD1 over a tube screamer any day."
There you go.
They do a thing though, the TS9s.
They do.
Bo wants to know, how would you apply that hookup for live applications?
Direct.
Just like he's got right now.
Direct, the way I've got it now. You run it straight to the board this way.
Instead of plugging into a Rodecaster. Or you could send your 2 outs of a Rodecaster to the board.
Or you could switch.
Then you can control your own volume.
Or you could turn the pedal to, because you have different functions, like ways to run the pedal. And you can set it to, which I'm just using have it set to preamp and EQ. Because if you turn the power amp section of it on, I'm using the cab IRs that's in it, of course. But if you put it as what they call full power in the menu, that's made for running it to a power amp and running a cab. Because it, like, with the output knob barely fucking cracked, it clips. It's just way too much output.
Too much.
But you could do it that way too. You could run it to a stereo power amp and run 2 cabs stereo with it that way as well.
Can we hear it in the mix with a backing track?
Man, play a track. You want to jam? Play a track.
Which one you want?
Play that A minor track, John. I ain't get to play that Sunday.
I'm looking for it yet. Hang on.
we got some bonus jamming tonight. Let's see. I'm gonna check the chat as you're looking for that. Andy says it definitely wasn't flattering to the sound of that pickup. Oh, so you saw the same thing that I saw. Let's see. Renee says with a fractal, you were ready to rock everywhere.
I looked at one and I was like this close to pulling the trigger on one. But the end of the month is not the best time for me to drop a chunk on gear. And like I said, since I got, it just hit me when I got that UA email. They're doing a Memorial Day weekend sale. It's like I got like $100 off that pedal.
So how does it feel under your hands?
It feels like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's fantastic either. The synergy. Yeah, and you can go in there in the app and change between power tubes, tight or spongy or solid state or tube rectifier, all that stuff. And I mean, it definitely gives it a different feel doing that. But to me, it feels like I'm playing a distortion pedal.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not horrible. It doesn't feel any different than playing that Yamaha. And
Andy says like Boner's taint on a hot summer day.
Oh, that's nicer. But even Jimmy said it
Groomed.
when Jimmy and I got together an hour or so ago, or longer than that ago, to start kind of EQing it. He was like, "Man, that thing sounds a lot like that Yamaha."
And there's nothing wrong with that. That Yamaha sounded pretty good.
But, we've got EQ here, EQ in the road. We got the Sonic Maximizer going,
Kurt says that Craig Stofko has a couple of good videos out there with the Pry 86 mod.
That's not the new one, is it, though, Kurt?
What is way up on all about?
Way Up Dude is here. He says, Randy, I can't live without your love and affection. I can't face another night on my own. Give up my pride to save me from being alone, because I can't live without your love.
Got to hang with Way Up Dude the other night.
Kurt says, no, it's the old one. So,
Yeah, no, they got the new top secret one coming, Kurt.
yeah. So you ready, John?
I don't have a guitar, so I'll let you guys go first.
Well, I mean, you got
play
the
the
track
track.
ready.
Turn
We're
your
just
shit
gonna
on.
have Randy play. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll mute John here real quick. There we go. And we'll get back over here. So it sounded pretty good.
Sounds okay in a mix.
You were a little hot in the mix. I brought you down a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounded pretty good.
Well, I mean, kind of the things that that Randy and I noticed that Randy and I sit together. He plays, and I just kind of be like, okay, move the mids, move the whatever,
Mm-hmm.
change the cab. So we were in a different room doing that, and then we, move to the live stream, and then all of a sudden there's differences from, what we were hearing in the other room.
Right.
So we're always prepared to have that variable, because we could jump from different live stream to live stream, and you kind of get a little bit of differences in there. So the difference that I heard was that now in the mix is that you could probably add a little bit more treble or presence to that sound.
And your levels were all, jacked up now that you were making those adjustments. So, but yeah, sounded good.
Didn't you turn me up earlier before I turned my Windows volume down? Up.
I did.
Yeah.
But I turned you back to where you were before I did that. So, anywho, let's see.
Quentin.
Uh-oh, is Quentin here? Kurt says, I have seen the teasers for the new pickup. Right on.
There you go.
Renee is saying something about the EVH tone. Appreciate it. Let's see. Channel member Cushman NYC has found his way in. Greetings and salutations to you as well, sir. Let's see. Renee is saying, wow, Randy. Right on. Liking the tone. Uh-oh, look at here. We got Dan Gorman is here. Oh, no.
I haven't played it in like a week. How's it going?
Awesome. Sounded really, really good there. Did you bump up some mids or something?
I didn't touch anything. I turned my level down one notch in the Rodecaster.
No, that sounded pretty good. Let's see. There is Guitar Talk Universe. Quentin says Jimmy's vocal is really low.
Shut up, Quentin.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Let's see. Yeah, he's calling you out there on your riff there.
You know what it sounds better than?
Anything RP360 XP. We all forget that he switched over to that head rush thing.
It sounds the
because
same.
the head rush sounds the same. Love you, Quentin. So, obviously the Synergy's still sitting there. When are you sending that off?
When I get time this week, I'll probably ship it out Friday.
They give any indications of how long they thought they would have it?
No, but prowling the Synergy forums, probably 4 to 6 weeks.
It's got to go all the way to California, IA.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh well. So, Randy, when are you free for a weekend?
I don't think I got anything to do this weekend.
You want to make a road trip?
Oh shit! Where?
Well, we'll have to see what Mr. Verde is doing.
Oh shit! I've made that road trip.
Yeah. So I was talking to him a little bit earlier, and he may want the Rodecaster that I've got. He's looking to up his game. So,
Cool.
He was talking about shipping and this and that, and I'm like, shipping? Road trip this thing to you.
Damn, that means I'll have to buy him Waffle House this time.
So was there like there was a guitar store that was kind of in between the two of you where you met?
I don't know if he wants me telling where he lives. I didn't go to his house or nothing. But no, he lives very close to a town called.
We know. Yeah. So, but there was a guitar store close to where he is.
The store's in Lincolnton, and he's not far from Lincolnton, North Carolina. So he just met me in Lincolnton.
Gotcha.
He was in there like buying strings and shit when I got there. So
yeah, maybe we can take a road trip and stream as we go, and maybe go to that same guitar rig place.
Yeah, that place is pretty cool.
Cool. How long of a trip is it from your place?
It's about 3.5 hours.
Holy crap. So it's an hour and a half to your place and then 3.5 hours. Jeez.
Well, it's 80. Well, I mean, you take 85 the whole way until you get into North Carolina, and I forget which highway it is. You get off the highway and just go straight for like 20 miles.
Yeah. Well, hell, I need to put some miles on the car, so yeah.
Yeah, Stu, you're right. It is right down the road from Splawn.
Let's see. Quentin says, Randy, that's just unacceptable.
You're
I don't
fucking
know what he's talking about.
unacceptable.
Speaking of backup gear, how terrible would it be to have a RP360 XP as your backup gear, right?
He offered to send it to me. I mean, I can't fault him for that. And the thing is with Quentin, if I was like, dude, I'll pay you shipping or whatever, Quentin would send me that RP360.
Yeah. Brian Peterson is here saying, hey, guys. Good to see you, Brian. Let's see. What is that, a Yamaha DG Stomp?
It's from 2000. This is one of the first modelers that when Yamaha came out. So there was their series of DG amps. And even with this thing being, a quarter of a century old, it still sounds better than a RP 360.
You know what? My brother has it now, but in the 80s, my computer just started making noise here. Just everything is just going. I got a fan going. Hang on. Oh, well, we'll just have to deal with it. Can you hear that in the background when I talk? Sounds like a freaking dump truck or something. Anyway, in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, I had bought a Yamaha FX 500, and my brother still has this little rack unit. And that thing sounded great. It had all the effects built in. It had some overdrives and stuff. And that thing sounded fantastic. That's going to drive me crazy. Let's see. Bo says make a road trip to Michigan. Well, give us a reason to road trip there, man.
Like 10 hours. Mm-hmm. You never asked me about my backup gear when I played live.
Channel member Martian Murray says, isn't a Topless Cafe off 85 in North Carolina? We'll find out.
Probably.
We'll find out.
I know they were getting that exit you get off of to get on whatever highway that is. They were building a couple weed shops.
Well, I don't need that. Channel member Robbie Stingle is here. Mr. Kramer says, hey guys, Ryan, Randy, Jimmy. Good to see you, Robbie. Let's see. Andy says, once I get dad's stuff taken care of, I'm going to make a road trip down y'all's way. Right on, man. I was actually thinking too of coming up and doing some Guitarsenal tours up in that area as well. Maybe I'll grab. Me and Randy need to start doing some road trips, doing some of this cool stuff. It'll make good content for the channel.
Right.
Let's see. We got channel member Florida Claimers Ted has found his way in. We got me, Joe McGraw, channel member is here now, saying, hey, fellas, right? Yep, that's right. My stomach is growling. Now my computer just started making noise, and I think I see what fan it is. I got a fan that started making some noise. Let's see. I tell you what, that's going to drive me absolutely insane, so I'm going to let you guys chat back and forth a bit, and I'm going to disconnect that fan.
There you go. Just leave it all powered up.
Well, I mean, I have done tests with this DG Stomp. It has 8 different amp models in it. It's got compressor, chorus, flanger, phaser, rotary speaker, tremolo, delay, tape echo, and spring hall and plate reverbs. It has, I think 24 different speaker simulations where you can scroll through them there on the end. What's really cool is you set different presets. If anybody is familiar with the DG amps are, I have this, I have the big rack preamp unit, and then I had a DG80 112 back in 2002.
Already did. What'd you do? Walk away?
And all the knobs, when you hit a preset, is all the knobs turn to the settings of your preset by themselves. It's like ooh. But this it's got digital out, expression pedal. You can plug headphones into it, so you can use it as a headphone amp. It's stereo out, and then you can hook it up to a MIDI controller. There's a pretty in-depth pedal for it for the day on there, and the amp models don't sound too bad. When I use it, I usually just throw a SD1 or a tube screamer in front of it, and that tightens things up, and it sounds way better with that. So maybe one day I'll hook it up and we'll do a stream with it and see how it compares on there. But then this is my backup. I mean, this is that new X Trident that I just got to as the just in case, because like Randy, as I had my own issues with my Sin 2, which I had a switching relay go bad, which affected everything else, so I couldn't switch channels, and it was noisy as shit. But it wasn't blowing fuses, but it was pretty much unusable because of the internal noise generated in the unit. So, but I've got 3 Sin 2 docks.
I fixed it.
So I just throw coffee on it.
No, I threw
Unplugged it.
I threw a screwdriver in it. So I'll have to replace that fan later. I guess the bearing is going out on it.
Yeah.
There's the OU Crew computer rig.
Needs more lights.
Right? Well, it kind of matches the motif here. Oh my God, that was driving me crazy.
Yup.
You just can't unplug those things? They don't have plugs on them?
They do, but I would have to take the whole entire side off of the other side.
Oh,
And
All you gotta do is fucking.
with a plug right on the fan.
no, I can do that too, but they're tucked under. All my stuff is neat in my computer. All the wires are tucked in. You can't hardly see any of the wires except for the computer case stuff. But all the fan wires and everything are all, routed where you can't see them. So, but there's a hub on the other door, and I'd have to take the whole computer down to get to the hub. Obviously there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fans in there, and they all hook up to a hub, and I can control them. So anyway, it's stopped for now. Really, those ones on the bottom are just pulling air in through the bottom, and then it's exhausting through the top. So I got the whole side door off, so it's fine. I'm not doing any heavy gaming or anything, so all good. Let's see. Hey, look at here. We got Bent Tom. What is going on?
Yo, Tommy.
Back what? Door? Yeah. Let's see. Earl is yelling for the Dan Gorman ditty. I guess he missed it.
He did.
Got to rewind. Let's see. Volume is a bit hot. I didn't change anything. Just got closer to the microphone. We got John is back. Welcome back, John.
Sorry, boys.
Rob seems to think that maybe we should all go and meet in Vegas. That's not a bad idea.
Jimmy and I are running up in fucking jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
GoFundMe.
I don't think Jimmy is
Jimmy's bail money.
Jimmy's not allowed in Vegas. He's already been banned.
Go ahead and
If we
start
can
one
raise you
now.
70 grand.
Something to do with a McDonald's tray or something. I don't know. Yeah, we need a GoFundMe to raise 70 grand for them to get in out of the bond.
Talk. Yeah.
Right, and if we don't go to jail, then we can just gamble it away and buy more accompaniment. How do you say it? Accompaniment.
Marcia is here. So I think you're a 80s light queen. I mean, a king. I don't know what that means. What is that sound clip that you've got, Jimmy? Or not Jimmy, Randy?
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Exactly.
But
So back when I was playing live,
there's that. Who was it that Quentin? What?
Randy's wanting to.
hey, you asked everybody else what they were using when they were live for backup, and you didn't ask me.
Well, we're getting there. I just, it's kind of off the cuff, whatever
Hold
comes
your
to mind.
horses, you son of a... Oh.
Quentin posted that somebody passed away today. I think it was it Rick Derringer?
Derringer.
Yeah. And for the life of me, I can't tell you a song that he played. I know that when you say it, I'll go, oh yeah, that's it.
Rock and roll hoochie coo.
There you go. There's one of them. I know there's a couple more that we're probably all familiar with. Let's see. Jimmy is the Burger King of McDonald's trays. Robbie says there's a lot of deals in Vegas. People lose at the casinos and sell stuff cheap. Oh, my 80s lights. Is that, well, send me a super chat and I'll change them.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right, Zach. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless it's
send me a
herpes and you bring it home with you. So, Randy, when you played live, what was your backup? Now he's like, I'm not going to tell you now.
So when I played live, my live rig was a 5152 with a Mesa oversized 412 vintage 30s, and I used the TC Electronics, the G Major 2 for all of my effects and stuff. Should any of that go down,
That reminds me, I have a G system that I can sell.
there you go. Should any of that have gone down, what I was using to control it all was a Line 6 HD 500, which was, I guess that was the precursor to the Helix.
Did it have MIDI on it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
The HD pedals had MIDI.
So you were just strictly using it for control only.
Right.
All right.
I was using it for effects until I bought the G Major 2. And so if the amp blew up or the G Major went down, the Line 6 would take over. If the amp blew up at that point, you could just run the Line 6 straight to the board. I had some patches made for the
Right.
songs and whatnot with because it also, I mean, the 5150 thing in there was terrible. So I think I used their Ubershaw model is what I was using in that, and maybe the rectifier too. I don't remember, but I think the HD you could stack amps on it. You could run two different amps if you were running like a stereo thing. But so yeah, I mean, if the amp blew up or whatever, I could just run it direct and have everything there and just turn all the other crap off. And we had 3 different tunings, which required 4 guitars because it was drop C, drop B, and D standard. So the drop C guitars were the D guitars.
Yeah.
So I had a main and a backup for each tuning.
And John, you said you carried how many guitars with you?
2.
Just 2. I typically would I would have 3 guitars with me. At the time, I had an OLP guitar that I did a yin yang on it. I think you guys have seen pictures of it. And I had the Fair Warning guitar that I gigged with. And then I had the Japan-made USA or with the USA pickup special, Wolfgang special that I had. And those typically were the 3 guitars that I would carry. All of our tunes were standard tuning or drop D. So they were all tuned the same.
Ironically, everything.
What string gauges
D
did you
flat
use?
for us.
Everything was, at that time, it was 942.
D and drop C was 10 to 52, and drop B was 11 to 56. 56. And then I got where I joined this, me and the drummer started one of those corporate bands, play corporate parties and weddings and birthdays and all that crap. And we just kept everything in it. And yeah, it was actually really good money. And we did everything in it in E flat. And I was so accustomed to playing 11s that I played 11 to 56 in E flat.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do that now.
That can't be good for your hands, man.
I don't know, man. Back then it felt good. 11 to 56 is on a 25.5-inch scale guitar.
Mm.
I wasn't playing Floyd's back then either, so.
I think that I can't remember if I went and I bought a set of 8s, but I want to try a set of 8s on a Les Paul. I want to see. Maybe I'll put 8s on Claudia here and see how it feels.
Slinky.
Hey,
It's going
like it
loose.
slinky.
That's why I tried, the full 8s, which would have been, I mean, I'm assuming you're gonna
8
go
to 38.
40 to 38, or 40 to 8, or 38 to 8.
Probably 38 to 8.
Okay. Because I tried that, and it was, especially on shorter scale guitars, and it was like really floppy.
Right?
So that's why I started going with hybrid sets with 42 to 8,
Mm-hmm.
and just changing the third string and the first string,
Yeah.
or the.
Well, I've never tried them. I want to try the full experience and
It's-
see what it's like.
It teaches you how to lighten your picking hand up,
Mm-hmm.
and lightening your fretting hand up, because if it gets really bad if you have like really tall frets, is it's really easy to
Go short.
basically finger the strings out of tune.
Mm-hmm.
So it teaches you to how to lighten up,
Right.
and then which is a good thing, because if you want to play like some blues or anything that require a light touch, then you learn that muscle, that response to their.
I would think it would help with your ear on bending as well,
Yeah.
by relying on your ear as well as the feel.
Well, I mean, hell, going from 11s to 9s. I mean, I used to freaking. I mean, John's pointed out a couple times. There's points in time where it looks like I'm strangling the neck up here.
Mm.
And I used to be super heavy-handed, but I was playing 11 to 56s.
Mm-hmm.
And when I made the jump to 9s, I'm like, if I played an open D chug thing with 9s, it's like, okay, well, I'm like playing like an E flat there on an open D.
I kept waiting for the dun 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 dun.
But I ended up, I was playing thinner picks back then too. I was playing .73s.
0.60 is what I use. I found these that I like.
Tried them, man. I can't do that.
This one is made by something called Brain Picks.
Looks like the texture they have on some of the Jazz 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a very, very similar texture to what they have on the
You probably will see
EVH
cool
picks,
with the cat tongue texture on it.
and it's got it on both sides. So I may try to find these. These are probably going to be cheaper than these, which these are cool.
I've betrayed everybody.
Have
I got
you?
it.
Moved up or down?
I got everybody hooked on those damn Oltex gloss flows,
Not everybody.
the 2s, and I haven't been using them in like a month. Went back to my old standby, the old Oltex Sharps.
Yep.
Ones?
No, these are 2s.
Yeah.
See, Robbie says I used a Marshall 71 Super Lead and 68 PB 100 watt. PB was a combo, Marshall a 412 Celestion, 3 guitars, 80 Gibb double neck, 82 Isaacson built at Kramer, and with 82 Charvel Ebony Strat headstock, head neck SG. Cool.
I'd like to have that 82 Strat head Charvel.
Let's see. Zach is telling Robbie it'd be cool to see one of those. Shows you have some cool gear. Yeah, man. Show that stuff off. But it was in the late 70s, early 80s, so you don't have it anymore.
He's got a badass gong collection.
Yeah. Got some super big gongs.
It's like Willie, when Willie was at Charvel, he put all kinds of stuff together. And the one he still kicks himself in the ass for selling, he built a Charvel Telly with a pointy headstock and with a Kaler.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a blood red matte finish. And he's like, man, I should have never. He sold it at like the Dallas Guitar Show sometime in the late 90s. He's like, if I ever find that guitar again, I'm buying it.
Right.
I don't care how much the dude wants for it. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I had a Charvel. It was blood red. I think it was like a Model 5 or something. It was a humbucker, but with EMGs and a Kaler.
Right.
And I stupidly sold it. Melted Copper is here. Good to see you. Saying happy Tuesday. Right on. Welcome
What's
in.
up, dude?
Hey, brother.
Wolverine.
Robbie says the neck had a whip in it. I actually had to remove the frets and level the fretboard.
Speaking of necks.
Oh, did you get it?
No, not yet. It is in the main production shop, but I may be letting this neck go. This is a Donnie Ward made. Now, you're not going to get the tuners and the locking nut. Sorry. This is a Donnie Ward made Frankenstein neck. 22 frets, 12-inch radius, and it has a Strat heel instead of the squared telly heel.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a ton of little bitty bird's eyes all in it.
Right. And what would you be letting that go for?
I don't know, probably about
$50.
probably about more like $1.50.
$1.50, yeah.
I want to say I paid Donnie, $300 for it a couple years ago, but it's still in really good shape. It's got jumbo frets on it. It's a 2-piece neck. It's got the hex adjust down there.
Mm-hmm.
But really good neck. I mean, it's made to the specs of the one that's on the Frankie. It's a thin C.
Would that fit my Kramer 5150 replica?
Probably.
And then I
It's
could
a standard Strat heel 2 3/16.
I could call it a 2004 version. Put a Wolfgang pickup in it, and yeah.
The headstock shape is slightly off. That's the boogie body. That's the boogie body Strat headstock shape.
Yep. Let's see. Hey, look at here. Dahlia Mendez is here. Good to see you, Dahlia.
What's up, Dolly?
Let's see. And there he is. Channel member Charles Green is here saying, hey, everybody. Were your ears burning, Charles? We were talking about you a little earlier. So good to see you, sir. Let's see. Robbie says that is definitely worth it. For sure. I would have figured maybe a little more for it. $225 or something like that.
Well, I mean, I'll give our people a deal.
Right?
If it goes on the reverb or something, it's going to be $200.
Right.
$350.
I don't know. I got anything that you want to trade for?
You got Send 2 back there?
Grilled cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think this Knuckles pedal sounds bad for what we're doing for a backup.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, and, I mean, Randy and I only just got into, basic EQ, dive into the power section and tubes.
Right.
And did you hook it up to a computer and then look at all the stuff you could adjust in there?
The app.
Oh, that's right. It's the
It's
app.
an app.
Yeah.
I mean, the app's fairly easy to use. But yeah, like I said, you can go in and switch between 6L6 and EL34 power section, solid state or tube rectifiers, a tight or a springy feel, and there's actually a vintage and a modern amp mode as well, which was a switch that was on the Rev F Dual Rex, and I'm in the modern mode, of course.
Yeah.
But the vintage, the clean channel on this thing actually sounds really good. I haven't dialed anything. I haven't made a preset with a clean channel, but I was kind of goofing around with it earlier. And
Well, it's funny you say that, but everything that I have tried for a backup and B-Rig over there, the clean always sounded fantastic.
yeah,
You know, the fractal unit, even the little Line 6 boxes and all that I had tried. The cleans always sounded great.
Yep.
When you
And,
went to those amp sims, it was like, nope.
yeah. It's funny is most high gain amps, the clean channel sounds like shit.
Right. Yeah. Ted Fair is here, or Fur, Ted Fur.
Ted,
Says, what pickups do you have in your Charvel? Thank you.
in this particular one, it's a tone zone in the bridge and a liquefier in the neck. The tone zone's pretty much going to be the staple in the bridge. I do play around with different neck pickups. The black SoCal with the black and greens, a tone zone and an evolution. And the other normal contender is the Air Norton
Right.
the neck. But the tone zone or the AT1 is always going to be the thing.
Darboard is here. Good to see you, Darren.
What's up, Darren?
Let's see, what else? Andy's got to go let the dogs out, take care of everyone. Good to see you, Andy. Let's see. Charles says, I didn't do it.
Yet.
Arky says, 50 watching and 24 likes. Please hit the thumbs up. Yes, please do that. I know that a lot of times I go into shows and I'm sitting there enjoying all the content and I'm like, damn, I forgot to hit the like button. It does help. It stimulates the algorithm. So if you would take a moment and just click it for us, please.
Arky, I hit the like on your stream from the other night. I don't know if you deleted it or not.
Channel member Mike G is here. Says, listening in, been drinking margaritas and playing Helix E minor licks.
Hell yeah.
Right on, man. Let's see. We got Miles, channel
Yo,
member 6,
Miles.
Finger of Salt, saying sup, lads. Good to see you, Miles. Right on. Well, what else do we have to talk about tonight, guys? Anything? No? Nothing?
With my new pedal board rig, and that's about it.
I'm not putting the pedal on the board though. It's just going to sit where it's actually sitting on top of the Synergy at the moment. And when the Synergy gets moved, it's going to sit where the Synergy was. That way I have quick and easy access.
Well, is there any particular reason that you didn't decide to just go get a charger for your Yamaha and just use that because you were familiar with doing that before?
New gear day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, new year, gassing for new stuff. Got to try new things.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it's simple. It's right here, and
Right here, right now.
I could have either have looked for the charger or bought another one from Yamaha because I'm pretty sure it's a proprietary.
You just got to get the negative and the positive in the right spot.
Right. It's like an oversized 9-volt charger.
Gotcha. Let's see. Ted says, is it just me or are there no decent rock or metal bands touring this summer?
I mean, I've been
Lame.
seeing Metallica.
That is next week, isn't it?
Yep. I mean, somebody needs to come up with some money.
Right?
Money.
Earl wants to know, what computer hardware are you guys using? DAWs, plugins, VSTs, etc. I don't use any DAWs. I don't use any plugins. I use mic cabinets direct to a mixer into USB-C. As far as computer hardware, I've got a Intel 14900K machine with a, what is that, a GeForce 40 something, 4080. Yeah, that's about it. None of us use any of that DAW or plugins and stuff.
Nope.
It doesn't work, man. At least I couldn't make it work. I tried that.
I've considered it. I've looked into it, but it's just like
Well,
a lot of
There's
hassle
so much
trying to-
more off-board gear that you need
Yeah.
in order to make
well,
that work.
I mean, you can go to other streams and we can see what happens is a person, oh, I can do live streaming, and then they try to do something like this, and it just goes
It doesn't
complete
work.
shit.
Yep.
And you have to spend hours trying to figure out what the hell is going on,
Right.
or add.
You gotta call
add
Mitch
another
Heyman.
application
Yeah.
because something's not, either a protocol or whatever the hell,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to add another application to get the rest of your shit to work with what
Yep.
with what
Take
you're doing.
take Pete Thorne for instance. You watch one of his demo videos, nothing sounds better. He makes everything sound fantastic. Try to get him to play guitar live while he's streaming. It's not happening. It doesn't happen.
It's a specific thing you got to get set up for.
Yeah.
And I mean, R2 tried it with the plug-in thing, and that was a nightmare at its worst and okay at best, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he went over to hardware, right? With the IRX and all that stuff.
Right. Ted says, you guys look sleepy from last night. Arky is a bad influence. What was last night? What was going on last night?
Saturday night.
That was it Saturday? Yeah, that was Saturday.
Or was it? No, it was Sunday.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Holiday.
Yeah. Dahlia says, how's our bro Trevor? He is working late. Sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier.
Who?
Yeah. Trev 2.
R2 version 2.
R
R2V2.
Trev 2. Yeah. There's Mitch Heyman. Says, did somebody just call for me? How can I help? See there? He's right there when you need him. Robbie says, all I've ever known is live. It works for me. Same here, man. Same here. Dahlia says, haven't seen Trevor in a while. He okay? Yeah, he's fine. He's
He
fine.
was here Sunday, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was here Sunday.
Yeah, he was here. Let's see.
Yeah.
What else we got tonight, boys?
Well, I mean, even with what we're doing, I think it's a real testament to the the ease of use of the Roadcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got this and I started recommending this, I think, John, you were the first one that grabbed it.
Yep.
And I had a little apprehension of someone purchasing something that I had recommended because, I hate for somebody to buy something and go, no, this thing's, crap, man. What are you talking about? But John really, really liked it. He saw how well it worked. And then these
Straight out
guys
of the
started
gate.
getting it. Yeah.
Yeah. You and I spent an hour or something, and it was done. Basically, that part of it was done.
Yep. So it, like Jimmy was saying, it's just a fantastic piece of gear for what we're trying to do here. No need for apologies, Arky.
I was entertained.
I was entertained. Like I said earlier, we were all playing characters on a screen. So we all
find that's important, Ryan.
we all were playing a character.
And I just kept playing.
Yeah. I think Jimmy's still in character. Let's see. Zach says, sunny night, still trying to get over some of the images I saw from that stream. Hey,
just never mind.
Yeah. Mike G's asking somebody play something good with a phaser, the swirl. I could probably do
I don't run a.
do this. Little atomic punk.
I don't have a phaser.
Let's see. What, Arky? Oh, dang. Robbie says, to jam with y'all, do you need any special gear in addition to your computer and mic and interface? Well, like I said, all of us use the Rodecaster Pro 2 to do what we're doing. We never really had good success with your standard interfaces. It just depends on what you're looking to do. You could come on with a combo amp and just have your mic pick it up. Let's see. Yeah, heavy harmonizer on my tone for sure. Earl says, did you guys see Pete Thorne's interview with Steve Rosen's EVH biographer? No, but we have all seen plenty of interviews with Steve Rosen, and we all know what he's about. I've got his book over there, which actually will be one of the things included in the giveaway. So yeah, we're all very familiar with who Steve Rosen is. Let's see.
I just saw that Robbie said harmonizer.
I just highlighted that a minute ago.
Oh, well.
That's right, Dahlia. Keep playing. That's all there is.
Hey,
Tell me
Robbie.
for you if you don't.
Hey, Rob Blackmore. There you go.
That kind of harmonizer,
Robbie loves that, man.
right?
It's like him and two other people that anytime I kick that thing on, they're like, yes.
Well, let's hear how it sounds with like an Iron Maiden song or something. You sat out all Sunday, so tonight's your platform, man. Go for it. I guess that's a no.
I actually don't even, most of the Maiden harmonies aren't in minor third. They're in like fifths or seventh or something.
Up the iron, says Rob. Charles says, I love that shit, Randy. He's one that enjoys it. Mitch says, I love it too. I can't do that on Helix Native, I don't think.
Dude, they call it intelligent pitch shifting. I mean, they had that all the way back on the HD series stuff.
Yeah, it should be in there.
It's in there somewhere.
You just have to figure out some kind of switch to turn it on, maybe.
Yeah, it's in the pitch shifting section of effects. Because I used to use it in the HD 500 with a minor third and an octave down. And then the G-Force 2 just did it 10 times better.
That was a great unit, man. The whole G thing. There was G-Force, G major, G something or other.
Yeah, there's
G
G-Force,
system.
G major 2. And the G system was what, their MIDI switcher?
It was the one that had the board. Yeah. And you can do MIDI switching with it. And that's what I gigged with. That was the effects unit for the wet, dry, wet at the time.
See, everybody
Go ahead.
Everybody was was using the GCX, the ground control.
Yeah.
And I thought about trying it. And I'm like, this Line 6 thing works just fine.
Well, I like the G system because it just looked cool. You know, you got all these little red lights up there, and it was easy to see, and it did everything I needed it to do.
Right.
You could separate the brain over into the rack and just have the floor panel, but you could still wire in your you could use volume pedals to just be an expression pedal or whatever. So it was good. It was good. I actually miss a lot of the control that I had with it.
I want to say the Line 6, I think it had the expression pedal on it, and I think you could hook up 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
All the wahs that were in it sucked, so I just used mine for a volume pedal.
Rob is calling for wasting love.
I don't know that, Rob.
I know when I had the, whatever it was, the G major, G minor, whatever the fuck it was coming from my previous experience with rack gear was like a Roland GP8 and a Yamaha SPX 90. So it was like, oh my God, this thing is.
Yeah. Hey, good evening, Cindy Z.
Hey, Cindy.
Good to see
Yo,
you.
Cindy.
Good evening.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
Hey, hey.
Well, you guys want to play something? Or are we ready to get on out of here for tonight?
I'll watch you guys play something. I'm
Plugged in.
finding up this stuff.
Jimmy said you're not.
Not
Did you say
plugged
you're
in.
not plugged in?
Yeah.
Then what the f are you doing?
I'm either crippled or too fucking lazy to do anything.
And Randy doesn't want to play a Maiden tune, so
I've only got one.
Wicker Man.
there you go. Jam it out.
On Thursday.
Thursday.
Gotta find my wrench.
Your wrench. Oh, you got to drop. You got to bring it up.
Yeah, I think all my standard tune guitars are in drop D right now.
I'll leave something on the table. For
Yeah, this one happens to be in drop D as well.
It always just. Until you do a Quentin and you're like,
Yep, for sure. Well, we don't have to. We can save it for Thursday night. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. Let's see. Charles is out of here. He's got to roll out. Right on, man. We'll see you soon. Charles, we'll be contacting you about maybe something this weekend. We'll have to check with you on your schedule, though. Let's see. Ted says, I'll stick to my Digitech whammy pedal, even though it's the size of a Samsonite luggage suitcase.
Yeah, big footprint. Maddie
let's see.
makes good use of that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Quentin says that he used an SPX 90 when we played with a flock of seagulls. You know, I don't know that I would be continually reminding everyone of your 15 minutes of fame with a flock of seagulls.
What was their big hit?
I don't know. Mohawk hair or something. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Darren says, harmonize us with some Rat.
Jimmy's got the Rat stuff down.
Mm-hmm.
What about Doc and Dream
I sold
Warriors
my PS6, so
Ted's looking for just an intro to Number of the Beast. Anything. Mitch says he found it. Simple Pitch is one of them.
Is it? I remember if it was. I don't know. They've got different versions of it where you can do the harmonies and all that stuff.
Is that what you were just doing, John?
That, Ryan, you should do a live playthrough of that album.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because I was actually thinking of that today.
It was today I was thinking of it.
Yeah, I was like, why don't I go through and see if I can pull all of my guitar parts out and then just play to them. Yeah. I don't know if I could keep up with myself or if I could remember what all I did with the solos, but that's fine. Okay. I was thinking that might be kind of cool.
That would be. And you've got material for what, 8 weeks? You want to show?
Right. I think I might have done that on one of my pads here, but I may have deleted it.
Well, you just can't download the songs into RipX and pull your guitars back out.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about doing.
2 minutes to midnight. Let's go.
Let's see. I thought that I might have done that on one, but I don't guess I have. Anyway.
Rob's out here calling out all these Maiden riffs. Number of the Beast, 2 minutes to midnight.
That part.
See, I don't even remember my own stuff. Exactly. You could do the solo to it.
I didn't write it.
It's I think it's in D, but it's just 2 chords, I think. It's amazing how quick you forget your own stuff.
All right, Robbie. There's your 2 minutes.
There you go. I was in Guitar Center the other day playing around, and I was in drop D, and all of a sudden I started playing one of my tunes that I hadn't played in a long time, and I was like,
I wrote a cool song. Oh, God damn it.
and I was like, how does that, what's the change in it? Where do I go? And I couldn't remember, but let me see. Let me just see if I can remember. No, I can't remember where I changed to. That's frustrating.
Madness.
Hang on. I'm going to try to remember this. I'm on mute real quick.
Go ahead, Randy. Play Can I Play with Madness?
Okay, I just remembered it. Something like that. FNA Hold It. What is that? Channel member Sean Plays Guitars has found his way in. Good to see you.
Good, Sean.
Let's see. Mike G, find something good and hold it for a few seconds. This was always one of my favorites.
Can't do that on camera. Sorry.
Right? Thought you started to play Kickstart My Heart. Nope.
Yep.
You ever watch the Matrix movie and at the credits at the end? He's going like, you remember that part at the end of Matrix in the credits? That was what inspired.
Sounds like that.
Huh?
I just remember your tune that sounds like that.
Yeah. Well,
That I countrify all the time.
I was I watched the Matrix one night and I was like, man, that's a really cool riff. It sounds really, really like, hard hitting. And I was like, what can I do with that? So I'll show you here. He was going like, he was going up. I was like, okay, what if I reverse that? And I stole it. And then I came up with this. So that's where that riff came from. Yeah, that's right, Ted. Rage Against the Machine on the Matrix ending. That's where I stole it from. Well, I wouldn't say stole. Inspired
No,
by.
you reverse engineered it.
Exactly. Did it completely in reverse.
There's no new notes under the fucking sun, man.
Yep. But what's his name? Tom Morello would tell you as well that he's been inspired by or copied riffs from other places. Hey, look at there. Channel member Hillary is here, popping in and saying hello. Good to see you. Catching up on some Z's. I'm sure that you need it.
Yeah.
Have a good evening as well, Hillary. Thanks for jumping in. Let's see. What's the other tune? Did I ever tell you guys how this one was written? Well, I'll tell you first. We were at band practice one time at band practice, and the drummer and the singer were out enjoying some extracurricular activities, outside the basement door.
Smoking a doobie.
And the bass player and I were in there, and he was messing around with his bass rig, and so I'm just over there, messing with riffs and whatnot. And sometimes you'll hit a riff and you're like, ooh, that's good. I need to do something with that. And when I hit it, everybody else felt the same way. Everybody came running in. The drummer came over and sat down at the drums. Singer came in just to listen to see what we do. The bass player, he was like, keep doing that. And then we wrote the song right there. And it was this one here. Wasn't that one? So that's where that riff came from. It was just off the cuff. Started playing it. We wrote a whole song with it right then and there.
Those are cool when
Yep.
that happens.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the simplest ones.
And then you got some idiot that'll say, oh, I did everything. Well, no, you didn't. It was a creative.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Creative
effort.
mix of everyone. Yep. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's right. It's called Wake Up was the Rage Against the Machine tune.
Everyone put a little makeup.
I do think that's a completely different band. That's System of a Down, right?
Much prefer that.
Right.
I got a riff. I was sitting over here one night years ago.
Thank you, man.
We were goofing off, and I was just kicked back, jamming around, and come up with this riff. And he started recording a video of it, and I was like, "Oh, that kind of works with this other riff I had." It's still like it's still Wall Cry's favorite thing I've ever written, riff wise. And I don't ever play it because I don't want to waste steal it.
Well, I mean, if you document it, if you document it here, then you're basically copywriting it.
It is in drop D.
Go
Then
for it.
play it. Don't. He's fucking worse than a woman, man.
Something like that. But it's like
Very
all
nice.
Down, it's like all downstrokes and
Yeah.
Sounds
Very,
good.
very Metallica or
Definitely has a metal
Hetfield,
vibe.
all the downstrokes.
Well, that's,
Very cool.
I mean, that's how I fucking learned to play. All
That's how Jimmy
downstrokes.
beats off all downstrokes.
Randy, we need to get the band back together.
Do it like I'm driving a metal fence post.
That's all right.
We're gonna be on like a mission from God.
Yes, we're going to be on a mission from God. We just need a drummer and a bass player, man,
Need an old
And then-
Dodge Monaco cop car.
and then a singer. So we need three more dudes, or maybe a bass player that can sing,
Get
or a
Matty
drummer that
involved.
can
He's
sing.
close by, isn't he?
Yeah, get Maddie rolled in. That would be quite the mix.
Maddie be over there like,
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all.
And then he hits the whammy pedal
Whee!
and just brings it up to just below normal pitch.
right.
Ted says, do any of you guys jam to Audio Slave? I jam with them on the radio. I'll listen to them.
Not a big Audio Slave fan, or Rage fan for that matter.
I tried to get my previous band to learn some of their tunes, but they just weren't into it, so I never really learned any. Sean says, that's best, Randy, when you have a lingering riff and it clicks with something else magical. Well, too, you think about all of the old demo stuff that you heard from Van Halen, there were songs that were like, hey, that's a piece from this song and a piece from that song, He was doing the same thing, just coming up with cool riffs and then figuring out and writing.
Jimmy Page riff leaning on and
Mm-hmm.
Sabbath and all those guys.
Mm-hmm. 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 Arca
Actually,
says that she can sing.
there you go.
Oops, I couldn't even type that live right.
Yeah, I ended up. I need to find it. I've got a demo where I turned those two riffs into a song, and I used like the bridge part before the solo was something I wrote when I was in 11 Standing Still, and it really, the riff shows it, its age, because it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely like '08. But I mean,
You mentioned something a little bit ago. You didn't want to play the riff because you didn't want somebody to steal it. That was one thing that really, really ticked me off is when our singer decided he wanted to do his own thing. I had just come up with a riff and everybody was really digging it and we were starting to write a tune around it. And when I saw a video that he had posted with his new band, they had taken my riff note for note, and the song that I was laying out was now a song that they were doing. So I was a little pissed off about that.
Been there, done that, my friend.
Yep.
well, you could. Is that Stained?
That's the riff that I had written. But it was really cool because I had all this like Leslie effect on it, and it was like
Right.
warbly and everything.
Well, I mean,
And,
your old band could release the album that you wrote and recorded with them, 15 years later and put it all on all the streaming platforms and shit and not make any mention of you, period, but it's still the tracks that you recorded.
yeah, well, you know what? We all had ownership. So I own all of the guitar riffs on that because I played them. So, believe me, I've already spoken to a copyright lawyer, and they're like, if you're the one that played those guitar tracks, and basically on the album it says copyright of the band, so there's really no person that has a copyright on them. And so he was like, if those were your riffs and you played those, then you own those. You can do whatever you want with them.
Right.
That's the way to do it, Darboard.
What's he say? Someone snakes your riff and take it as a compliment. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Check out Soundgarden, Burn It in My Hands. Yeah, I've heard that many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy and I think of that in different terms.
Yeah, I had a lot of cool riffs on that 11 Stand Still record, and now I can't use them.
Oh, well.
I never thought that album would see the light of day. But
That's what somebody did. You took all your...
well, they had recorded an album before I joined the band, and then we started working on one, and we had like 12 songs, and then the next thing you know, we had 20 songs. And our drummer had a full studio in his basement, had a badass live room, Pro Tools, control room, so we could go record whatever, whenever. And, you know, we were getting everything done. It's like, we need to whittle this down to like 12 songs tops. But we were already playing all the other ones live.
Right.
So it's like, which ones do we pick? And it's like, well, you just base the ones off the crowd reactions. And we ended up splitting. They went on for about another 2 years after I split. And last summer, it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to release our album Breakthrough. And I downloaded it on iTunes or Apple Music. I was like, these sons of bitches, these are all the same tracks and everything. It's like, they didn't re-record my leads, my overdubs, or anything. It's just like, there it is, and there's no mention of me on there anywhere.
Right.
They have all the other guitars. Later, Rob.
See you, Rob.
Credited to the dude that I replaced that ended up coming back. It's just like, gee, thanks.
Let's see if I'm gonna try to find something real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I had a cool little, a simple riff, and mind you, this, everything was in drop B, so it was way lower. But I mean, it's just like a simple. Stupid stuff like that, and cool. But it had a good groove. Once everything was put together, the melody was there. It had a good groove, had a big sing along chorus, and I wrote a lot of heavier riffs that worked out into cool songs, and whatever.
That era of music was really all about the groove and the
hook. Took the singer and / other songwriter, rhythm guitar player he took a lot of influence from like Nickelback and Theory of a Dead Man, and he was one of those guys that, had he not been an ass and liked to get hammered and blow his voice out halfway through a show, he's one of those guys that's got that same Chad Kroeger curse where he can write catchy radio rock songs just like that, and knock them out. But well.
What are the chances of finding a bunch of guys that you can gel with musically and then not having the fucking drama?
Slim to none.
Yep.
I mean, that 2 years almost that I was with those guys, I mean, we played a lot of shows. We opened for a lot of major label acts, had label interest, had several endorsements.
Yeah.
And, it was a big bromance for the first year.
Yep.
And then, as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the bromance starts dying. It's like, well, I really fucking hate this guy, but I'm going to go play a show for 3 hours with him later.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's like having a girlfriend that you don't fuck. You know what I mean?
Yep. Robbie, I don't know if I've got it in the fingers tonight to play a solo, buddy.
You solo, Robbie. Come on up here. Give us a ripping rendition of whatever it is you rip and rendish.
Yeah, Phantom Limbs. That's actually not a Cantrell riff either, Ted. That's a William Duvall riff. Phantom Lord or Phantom Limb on the Devil Put Dinosaurs here.
Jimmy's got one of those.
Hey, look. It's R2. I thought your kid graduated Sunday, dude. How many graduations does he get? Them skirt steaks
6.
look pretty good, though. Jimmy, Darren wants you to give the lowdown on the D Martini tone.
Basically, this guitar, because this guitar it has its own. This guitar pretty much is unique compared to my other ones. Probably, I mean, if you listen to this one compared to my other ones, it's got its own sound going, and that's just basically through the Bogner Uberschall module and my pedal board, which is just the multi-chorus, the CR7 hardwire, the Mimic, the hardwire RV7 reverb, and the SDE, and lots of EQ. There's
almost,
nothing special about it. Easily recreatable.
Oh, the hands probably have something to do with it too, Jimmy. You got a good touch. You might want to just blast that tune out right now if you got it in you.
I don't know it. I just know that riff because that riff gets stuck in my head for like 48,000 days.
I love these stupid ass jokes like this.
Right.
Being an age thing or something.
In all seriousness, Al, man, congrats to your son, man. That's awesome.
Looks like I picked the wrong time to quit drinking.
Milliseconds of delay. Mine or Jimmy's? Because I don't know.
Let's see. So I have the SD stereo delay. The one side delay 2 is 300 and delay 1 is 600.
It's close to what I got. I think I'm 330 and 710 or something.
I have no idea what my delay split is. It's just wherever the knob is.
Whatever sounds right.
Right, it's this.
Yeah, you're somewhere. I mean, that's somewhere in about the same area. Probably. Your sounds a little
AMC
quicker. It's
Kingdom, how you
probably
doing?
250.
250.
Hey, what's up, AMC Kingdom? Good to see you, man. R2R3, Locking Nut. What are you doing, man? Miss you guys. I miss playing guitar with my homies. Jump on, man. Jump on. We're still here.
Yeah, you just got home.
This was a band that I had played in the 90s. And this was off of a CD. Let me know what you guys think of this. I don't think that I've ever played this live on here. Let's see if this is too loud. Level good?
Sounds good.
There were 2 guitar players. The acoustic part was mine.
Not as good as I knew I should. Look at me now, I'm all alone. I don't have no one to call my own, my own. Well, as I look across the sunlit sky, looking back at my life,
got to say that of all the people that I've played with and bands that I've been in, this dude could actually sing.
Yeah, it sounds like he had a good set of pipes on.
Yes. Yes. It's funny, I hadn't pulled this out in a long time. Called Blackwater. The story with this band is that they were already together and they lost one of the guitar players. And so they had a replacement guitar player, and I worked with the guy that did sound for them. And I said, yeah, you guys sound pretty good. A lot of this stuff that you do when you play live, you could really use a second guitar player. And he says, yeah. He says, we've thought about that. He says, but we don't really want to have to pay anybody. And I was like, I'll do it for free. I just want to get out and play. You know, because you're not making a bunch of money playing clubs where we were. And so he gave me a recording, and he says, here, go learn this song. Learn the acoustic part to it. So the next day, I told him, I said, I'm ready. And he says, all right, well, we're practicing tonight. So I brought my acoustic guitar, plugged it into their sound thing, and started playing it. And got with, I don't know, a couple chords in there, like, okay, you can play with it. So that was a fun time. Until, of course, the band broke up, which always happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Jimmy quit and Jody got married.
Jimmy, you mentioned the Mimic. What do you think about using more than one of them? Kind of like quad tracking effect.
Well, it probably wouldn't really work. So the way that Randy and I are using the Mimic is it has 3 levels of stereo spread. Where to what you're hearing from what Randy and I are doing, we're like at level 1 with the knob at, just like at noon or 1 o'clock. It can get out of control and it doesn't sound very good. If you want the, multi-tracked guitar sound, then you actually have to multi-track a guitar. These pedals they can only do so much before it just starts to sound wonky.
Cindy wants to know if any of us play any Zakk Wylde. I do not.
No, I kind of didn't really care for him. Why aren't you all downstroking that, Randy?
Can't play that riff with all downstrokes.
Cindy says, thank you, Randy.
I did have to turn the chorus way up, though.
Well, gentlemen, we kind of veered off of the subject from like an hour ago, from backup stuff to whatever. So,
well, you've heard my backup rig.
So there we go. Mike G keeps saying F and A, man. All right, I'm ready to get out of here. How about you boys?
Got some burger patties to cook.
I got some pillow to go put my head on. So
8, 9, 10, 11.
Got to work tomorrow. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming out and joining us tonight. Everybody in chat, we appreciate you. And anybody that is watching the replay and has made it this far, you deserve a thank you. Mm-hmm. We will see everybody back here again, hopefully on Thursday for Trans Trim Thursday. A lot of stuff going on in the summertime. You never know what's going to happen. But
say comfortably that Randy, Jimmy, and myself will be here.
Well, there you go. So somebody will be here on Thursday, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a Trans Trim Thursday, so that means I'll be here as well.
Question is whether or not Trev will be here.
Or we know R2 won't be here. So.
That's what I said. That's not a question.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're out of here. Thanks again, everybody. We will see you next time around. And until then, as John said, hasta luego.
Auf Wiedersehen.
See you later. Bye.
Ciao. Ooh, greasy pork chop sandwich. That sounds good. Ted.
Bye. See you later.
All right. Latest.
Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.